Many Vegas travelers are surprised the first time they find out that the majority of Las Vegas locals absolutely avoid the Strip. Tourists often think of the Las Vegas Strip as this fun place to go on vacation, to stay in these massive hotels, gamble in the casinos, eat, drink, play, and make some crazy memories. 40 million people a year spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to come here and visit the Vegas Valley, enjoy the Strip, and everything that comes with it. On the flip side, over 2 million people live in the Las Vegas area, and surprisingly, many of them hate the Strip. They avoid it at all costs, unless friends or family are in town. So why is it so common for Las Vegas locals to choose to stay away? Here are the things that Las Vegas locals hate about the Strip. Locals, tell me what I got wrong about this list. Tourists, pay attention, because these are the people who make your Vegas vacation possible.
Number 7. Locals hate paying to park on the Strip. There used to be plenty of great free parking options throughout the Strip because no one casino ever charged people to self-park or valet. But now free parking has become much more rare to find. MGM properties were the first ones to begin charging for parking, followed by Caesars properties. Wynn, Venetian, and even the Strat have jumped on board with charging for parking now. All properties except Planet Hollywood allow locals to park for up to 3 hours for free, and some do allow locals to park for free 24 hours a day. But with so many places off-strip that have free parking, it's tough for many locals to justify paying to park for entertainment on the Strip when they have so many other options. So if a local wants to park at a resort for dinner and a little gambling, it's likely to come with a $15 to $20 plus parking fee that would have been free several years ago. That's why Las Vegas locals are increasingly choosing to visit off-strip properties like South Point, Red Rock, and Palms, where you'll have a shorter drive and free parking. It's possible that hate is a strong word on this one, but the list gets worse as we go. And it also reminds me, I was talking to a valet working at an off-strip property one day, and he told me he hadn't been to the Strip in over 10 years. In 10 years, he hadn't traveled 3 miles to see what others travel thousands of miles for. That's what it's like for many Vegas locals. I'm not saying it was because of the parking expense alone, but it all adds up, as you're about to see. Number 6, the high food and drink prices. Although the Strip is known for having some incredible food and drink options, they usually come with a hefty price tag. Even with the Strip's reputation for having many high-end restaurants, there are plenty of other options off-Strip as well. On Fremont Street in downtown, you have Oscar's Steakhouse at the Plaza and Hugo's Cellar at the Four Queens, just to name a few. Some of the most popular nightlife spots in the world can be found on the Strip, but there's no shortage of other clubs, bars, and lounges to choose from as well. Sometimes locals will hit the major nightclubs on the Strip when they have industry night during the week because locals don't have to pay the cover charge. However, outside of that, most will rarely, if at all, go to the mega clubs on the Strip. Many also prefer the smaller venues that have a more intimate feel instead of being in a giant sea of bodies because a certain famous DJ is spinning. Number 5, Vegas locals absolutely hate Strip traffic. It was one of the first things I noticed early on living here, and it sucked so bad that I made a video about it in the first 6 months of this channel being created back in 2014.
I did it one time when I first moved out here. I took the Strip to get to work, so I thought it'd be a fun thing to do, and never again.
I even timed the light rotation once at the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo, and if you didn't make the green light on the rotation, it was a full 2-minute wait for it to turn green again. Strip traffic was bad over a decade ago, but with so much growth taking place on and around the Strip, it's even more noticeable, which definitely keeps the locals away. The traffic issue becomes even more noticeable when there are certain events that shut down some or all of the Strip for one day or even several days at a time. If you're a tourist on foot staying in your corner of the Strip, the traffic doesn't really matter to you that much. For a local, the traffic can be enough to talk them out of the whole thing, or if not, it can eat an hour or two out of the experience. Number 4, seemingly never-ending construction. The aggravation that locals feel with the strip's traffic is only compounded by the construction that comes with living in a place that is known for always changing. The Las Vegas Valley overall has grown a lot in the past decade, but with the strip being at the heart of the tourist corridor, you can pretty much always count on multiple construction sites being active. Sometimes there's more construction taking place than others, but it's pretty constant. This doesn't just affect vehicle traffic, but also foot traffic when certain walkways are closed off and overall logistics of getting in and out of any strip property. So for locals who have cars, it's far easier to get in and out of the off-strip properties. Number 3, bad gambling options. The Las Vegas Strip has some of the worst odds and rules for gambling that you will find in the state of Nevada. Because the Strip has a constant flow of millions of tourists visiting every month, those casinos can afford to have higher minimums and games that give the house the biggest advantage because many tourists will still play. If we look back over the past 20 years of data, we can see that the Strip has the overall tightest slots anywhere in the state during that time. But fun fact, ever since 2020, downtown slots have overall been tighter every year. For locals, much of the gambling on the Strip doesn't make sense. Why play 3-2 blackjack with a $50 minimum at Park MGM when you can play for $10 or $15 minimum bet at Golden Gate? Why play Baccarat at Caesar's Palace with a $100 minimum bet when you can play it for $15 at El Cortez? Why play $25 double zero roulette at Bellagio when you can play it for $15 at Palms or $15 to $25 single zero roulette at the Plaza? Why play $15 to $25 craps at the Horseshoe when you can play $5 craps at Ellis Island right around the corner? Also, the gambling on the Strip is catered towards tourists who are only here for a few days and are willing to spend more than they normally would. The vast majority of locals cannot gamble in a day what a tourist may gamble over the weekend. So they look for places where they can gamble a smaller amount of money on a more regular basis than a tourist who will gamble a lot more over just a handful of days in Las Vegas. Number 2, it's too commercial. Las Vegas is a place that's known for reinventing itself, particularly on the Strip. It seems like there's always something new in the works, whether it's a hotel, casino, shopping center, restaurant, club, bar, lounge, show, or some other attraction. This constant innovation has helped keep tens of millions of tourists visiting for decades. However, this also means that much of the history of Las Vegas' early years is no longer around because it's regularly getting traded out for something newer, bigger, and better to bring in more tourists. Just like how tourists look at the Las Vegas Strip as a place to visit that is so drastically different from their day-to-day lives in their hometown, locals often have a similar viewpoint even though they may only live 15 minutes away. The local population is very aware of how different the Strip is from the rest of Southern Nevada. Yes, there are changes that happen off-Strip as well, but nowhere near as much or as consistently as you will find on the Strip. That's one reason why locals who do want to go to a casino overwhelmingly choose properties that are off-Strip. This is part of the reason why even when locals do staycations, they often choose properties that cater to locals like station casinos, downtown properties, or other properties near the Strip. Locals certainly will do staycations on the Strip as well, but certain casinos in the Vegas Valley cater more to the locals than others because they are a bigger portion of their business. And whether you're a local or a visitor, be sure to sign up for the free email list down below because every month you will be getting Vegas deals sent to your inbox for free for hotels, gambling, food, drink, happy hour, locals, seniors, military, and teachers. Be sure to use the sign up link below and enjoy the savings. Number 1, tax dollars. Even though there is no state income tax in Nevada, locals do pay sales tax and property taxes. Locals also have to pay fees for things that are common like car registration. However, in addition to that, they have to pay other fees that are more specific to the Las Vegas area, like fees for obtaining multiple different work cards just to be able to get hired for certain jobs in the hospitality industry. Whether it's called a tax or a fee, this is all public money that goes to the government, and sometimes major projects that come to the tourist corridor are given public money despite major opposition from the locals. Whether those tax dollars get prioritized for professional sports over public schools or other public projects, naturally some people are not going to like it. Those people are Las Vegas locals who'd rather tax dollars go directly to schools, parks, public safety, etc. Professional sports teams can benefit Las Vegas through economic growth and reinvestment, but that requires a long-term view and there are risks associated with that. Some Las Vegas locals hate that money is being used in the short term to bring in big name companies and sports teams via tax breaks, public partnership, or tax subsidies, when they'd rather that money be spent on the community here and now, immediately and directly.
Ultimately, the locals do know that the Strip overall brings more good than it does bad, and it's a huge contributor to our state's economy. Regardless of any reasons that locals may have for trying to avoid the Strip all year long, we do recognize the role that it plays in our state and the benefits that come along with it. And from the Strip in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas. Thanks for watching.